eat it, they'll be like, say what? It's vegan? So yeah.
Hey guys, it's your girl Chef Joya, and welcome back to another episode of Say What? It's Vegan. We are getting ready to get into one of my favorite brunch recipes. Now, I know a lot of people use this recipe for dinner, but we're gonna make my fried green tomatoes BLT. Yes, it is absolutely delicious, and I can't wait to show y'all how I make it. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright guys, so we're going to get into my easy fried green tomato recipe, which you can find in my cookbook, Brunching with Chef Joya. But this BLT is super easy to make, and we're going to start off by making it with some vegan bacon. Now, in my brunching cookbook, I do use eggplant as my bacon, and you can get that recipe there. But this is just some vegan bacon that I found at my grocery store. And anytime that I'm using like any vegan meat, I'm going to also add some more flavor into it because it just doesn't do it for me, all right? So I'm going to take a couple pieces of this bacon. Now, if you are concerned with sodium, definitely make your own because this is not light in sodium by far, all right? And this does need all the flavoring because I will be telling you a story if I told you it tastes good without the additional flavoring. All right. Now, if you ask me, like, Chef, can you make rice paper bacon? You can do rice paper bacon. I'm not a fan of rice paper bacon because it kind of tastes like just empty. But if you love use some rice paper bacon, by all means, go ahead and use some rice paper bacon. I will suggest, though, if you want to do one that's like whole plant-based, do coconut. Coconut is really good for that. I just didn't want to do it today. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take, let's see. I was going to be politically correct, but this is how I real life do it. I'm going to take some of my Worcestershire sauce. And go like this. Now at home, what I would want y'all to do is put it in a bowl and then add in your Red House seasoning. Now my Red House seasoning already has brown sugar. It has brown sugar in it. It already has chili powder in it. So that's a couple steps that you don't need. All right. So you can mix that all around, put it in a bowl, and then pour it on top of your vegan bacon. All right. And like I said, this is already high in sodium. So, you know, I'm not going to season both sides because it's already super salty. But I am going to add a little bit of oil to it to help it crisp up in the oven. All right, so I'm going to drizzle a little bit of oil on top. And I have my oven on 400 degrees. You want to make sure you watch your bacon because it can burn easily and get really hard easily. So I'm going to shoot for 10 minutes and then I'm going to check on it. And in the meantime, I'm going to prepare my tomatoes and my sauce. All right, so as I'm heating up my oil, I'm going to go ahead and get my batters ready for my fried green tomatoes. Now, apparently making fried green tomatoes is harder for some than I thought. I mean, there's a million different ways to make it. Some do just like single breaded, some do a double breaded, but I'm gonna show you how I do it in my cookbook because I've done it several ways and I've never made a bad fried green tomato. Like, I ain't gonna call my videographer out, but he said he made some and it just wasn't right. I don't know what he did, but it definitely was not my recipe. I'm gonna go ahead and start with some seasoned corn flour. And what I mean by the seasoned corn flour, you know how you find like Louisiana's or Zatarain's like in the store? Go ahead and just buy that already seasoned, okay? Unless you want to go ahead and buy some corn flour and you season it yourself, you're more than welcome to do that. But if you want to save an extra step, just go ahead and buy it already seasoned. Next, you're going to go ahead and use some fine breadcrumbs. Now, let me tell you one of the things that I did. I had some stuffing mix that I had, and I didn't only have panko breadcrumbs, but I was like, I don't feel like seasoning. So I took my Pepperidge Farm and I went ahead and make sure it's the vegan one, y'all. Don't get the red one, get the blue one. That one is vegan, but I went ahead and I took it and I put it in my food processor. And now I got me some fine breadcrumbs because if you did not know, a lot of the breadcrumbs, the Italian style breadcrumbs have dairy in it. I'm gonna go ahead and add my breadcrumbs to another bowl. Then I'm gonna go ahead and take my vegan liquid egg mixture. So I'm gonna be using just egg. And if some of you do not like just egg, you can easily go ahead and make you a vegan buttermilk mixture, which you can take some unsweetened plant milk, whether it's oat or almond or cashew, and then you add like a capful of apple cider vinegar to it, let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then also to thicken up a little bit, add a little bit, maybe about a teaspoon of cornstarch to it, and let it sit so it can thicken up, and that'll be your little vegan egg mixture. If you didn't know, now you know. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and cut up our tomatoes. Now, if you ever notice when you're cooking fried green tomatoes, like the end pieces do not stick. It took me a long time to learn that. I don't know why, but I put water on them, like it's not sticking. So if any of y'all know, let me know. Maybe it's the flesh in the tomato. I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna lay my tomatoes out. And what I'm gonna also go ahead and do is use my Amazing Cajun seasoning. If you have not got it, click in the description box below where you can find all my seasonings and get you some amazing Cajun seasoning today. It is not high in sodium. It has all the Cajun flavor with all that sodium to it, okay? So I'm just gonna sprinkle it lightly, and I am gonna do that on both sides. All right, you gotta remember that our breadcrumbs are already seasoned and our corn flour is already seasoned. So now we have our breading station together. Let me go ahead and put it in order. So I'm like, now I'm thinking about, okay, which order I tell y'all to do in my cookbook? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna dip it into my corn flour. All right. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add it into my egg mixture. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add it to my breadcrumbs. Now, if you're not a breadcrumb fan, because I'm gonna tell you right now, my grandma was not a breadcrumb fan. She was just a straight cornmeal type of person. Go ahead and eliminate the breadcrumbs, okay? But what you'll want to do is the egg and then the corn flour, all right? And I'm gonna go ahead and drop it in the oil. Yes, baby. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and repeat that. Just remember what you put in first, guys, okay? Don't forget. Well, that's browning up real nice. I gotta hurry and go get my paper towel like immediately, okay? Y'all know you gotta drain on the paper towel on the plate. I gotta grab these out. And while I have these cooking up, because they're cooking up pretty fast, my heat is like, I'm not playing with you, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and fry the rest of these up, and I am still keeping an eye out on my bacon. So I did do a few without the panko breading option, so you can see the difference between them. Still both very flavorful, but it's all of your preference, okay? So this is without the panko breading, and this has the panko breading. Get the rest of my tomatoes out. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and make our spicy remoulade sauces, and it's super easy. We're gonna take some of our vegan mayo. I'm gonna add that to the bowl. You guys know I don't measure, so I'm gonna just say about that much, okay? Ooh, come on. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add in some hot sauce, and you can use whatever brand you like. And I said this is gonna be spicy, all right? So you see I'm going and I'm going and I'm going and I'm going. And that's how much you put in there. Then you wanna go ahead and add in some Dijon mustard. All right, add in our horseradish paste. Then also I'm gonna go ahead and add in some amazing Cajun seasoning. And also a little bit of vegan Worcestershire sauce. Give this a nice little mix around. And I already know it's delicious, so I ain't even gonna waste my time on trying it. I already know it's good. I mean, I made it. It's like, I'm the sauce queen. I have my toast in the toaster. As soon as that pop up, I'm gonna add a little bit of vegan butter to it. Then we can go ahead and assemble our fried BLT. All right. All right, we're gonna go ahead and easily assemble that sandwich. So I went ahead and put my vegan butter on here, and look, it ain't all the way melted, but it's not. I'm gonna go ahead and add my remoulade to each piece of bread. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add on my lettuce. Now I just use some romaine lettuce for this. Then I'm gonna take with my crispy, ooh. Y'all hear that sound? So good. I'm gonna add my fried green tomatoes, add 2 pieces on there. So big. And then I love me some red onion, so I'm gonna add a little bit of red onion to it. It's totally optional. Then I'm gonna take some of my super crispy vegan bacon, and I'm actually gonna break that up a little bit and add this to my sandwich. Like I said, keep an eye on it because these things get real crispy in the oven real quick. So I'm gonna put my bread on it, and there you have it. Let's see what that looks like. All right, so I have my sandwich here. Look how delicious that looks. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a nice little cut down the middle so y'all can see. Like, don't play with it. This is gonna be absolutely amazing. All right, let's go ahead and try out this sandwich. Because I already know my fried green tomatoes is busting, so I already know this is going to be all the way right. Uh-oh. Listen. That horseradish is coming through. And baby, I'm talking about food in my mouth. I know I'm making all the Southern grandmas proud. And baby, it's still absolutely delicious. Tastes just like the original recipe. And I mean, without using the egg and the vegan buttermilk, you know, tomatoes are tomatoes, and of course they're vegan. But just keeping those Southern traditions alive and then elevating and making it into a BLT is just, these flavors are mind-blowing. That's one thing I always say. The thing about having amazing vegan food, you don't even need to announce that it's vegan. You just need to announce that you make amazing food. I cannot wait for you all to try this recipe out. Remember, the fried green tomato recipe is in my cookbook, Brunching with Chef Joya, along with a lot of other delicious recipes. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and be sure to tell a friend where you're going to find the best vegan recipes there is, and that's right here on Say What Is Vegan. I'm Chef Joya, and I will see you next time. Ciao. It's good.